going to have to start over. There we are. I think my internet cut out.
Mine is terrible here too. Oh gosh, I can see how bad my eye looks. My eyes are still killing me here. It's ragweed or allergies and stuff. So the allergies and sinus, and it's the Tennessee Valley here. So excuse the terrible looking eyes. I do apologize.
Dina, look for official 23. Oh, good grief. We've got scammers on here. Gina, can you take a look at several of those?
Get them, Gina.
Yeah, Gina's on. Gina, did you hear me? Can you look at some of the people that are joined in the chat? I don't dare touch my screen or it's going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And Hadia bumped my arm on my stand, so. Okay, so we'll kind of start this again and cut out the stuff off the front where we were trying to connect. So we're going to talk about pause, check, and protect. And Dustin had a really good point when we talked just a few minutes ago.
Which one? Because
Stop, look, and listen.
Yeah, I mean, we use that in Safety Town for 6-year-olds, but it's stop, look, and listen before you cross the street. I mean, use your eyes, use your ears, then you use your feet. We talk to 6-year-olds like that, and it's like we're having to go over the same thing now with stop, look who you're inviting into your circle, into your digital world. Just look first instead of immediately pulling them in. Just hang on a sec. Who is it? Are they real before you accept? Just check that. It's not difficult to do.
That's true. It really is not. And there are so many ways that you can check their profile.
Yeah.
If it's somebody you don't know, of course, you're definitely going to pause and move on to the report and block.
So on that one, because Ruth and I would always right here kind of talk about some of those red flags just briefly while looking at those fake accounts. I know that she had her favorites. I kind of have the ones that stick out to me. So Sandy, I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this. What are those things when you first started learning about fake profiles that you were like, that it's fake because of this, this, and this? So what are some things we can help them identify?
2 first names or 2 last names. Funny name variations. 2 names like John Smith and then Wally, whatever. So be careful of those. And also you look to see if it's a new profile. They have been getting some hacked accounts and selling them back and forth to each other. So they're established accounts, but they change them. So you got to be kind of careful at that. Another one I kind of think is funny, especially for the women to look for, is dog dad. So, because they're using that a lot. God fearing is used a lot. And honestly, scammers need to fear God. They need to fear the wrath of God.
They're not smart enough, though. They're not smart enough to.
No, they go and repent on Sunday and start all over again. So,
yeah, a big one for me was numerous pictures. Like you go to a profile and it's like there's 6 pictures loaded January 1st. 4 pictures on January 3rd. 5 pictures January 5th. That's somebody building that. That's just a quick example. You know what I mean?
right.
But that's right there. That's somebody trying to build a profile that appears to have some meat in it in a week's time. You know what I mean? Or just all of that. And then, I think we probably both remember Ruth's favorite on these. Because if you were to go and like look at my real Instagram page, then you're going to see on there a lot of pictures, especially with the boys, or if I'm doing something, what's going to happen? My friends, my family, so-and-so are going to start chiming in on the comments. Oh, the boys are getting so big, or look at them, or have fun, or look this, or look at the big blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, the scammers we know started using that too. I don't want to derail myself too much. But if there's no jibber jabber in any of the pictures and there's only 1 or 2 or a few likes, those types of things, that signifies those pictures haven't been on there very long and that nobody's interacting with them.
Right. And Beth does have a point here. Maybe it only has 2 photos and it was recently created, but a lot of followers, because they do have a tendency to try and grab as many followers as they can to look like they're an established account. Dana says all the dates are modified. Yes, you can actually modify the dates. And the only way that I can tell, especially on my laptop, is there is a little world or a clock type thing circled right beside the date. And so if it has that little clock type thing right next to the date, it's been adjusted.
As far as when that picture was posted to make it look like it was posted a different day?
Yeah, it might say it was posted, in 2024, but if you tap on the little clock or if you go into the photo album is a good place to check. Start going through the photos and see what dates they're added to the profile. Because they might modify the dates on the posts, but in the photo album, they can't.
So again, that's going to come under the pause phase. We have to pause so we can check that stuff.
Right.
That's why you got to just check yourself for a second. Check yourself while you wreck yourself.
That's true. So while you're pausing, let me see. Okay. They start with emotional manipulation right away. That is another time. If you get somebody within 15 minutes says I miss you, and within an hour I love you, you may start talking to them, and this happens, and especially on dating sites. You need to take a deep breath and think, what in the heck? Why would somebody I just barely started talking to say something like that? So that is another thing. Pause and think about that because the grooming is starting right there.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's a great point. And then, too, like what I wrote down is like, why are you talking to me this way? Whether it's, a lot of times that phrase I'll say, like if somebody's coming sideways or something, be like, who? I'm sorry, who do you think you're talking to? Who are you talking to that way? But it's the same with this. It's like, who are you calling love muffin or darling or what? Why are you talking to me that way already? Maybe I'm crazy for even thinking that. I don't know.
No, I mean, you're not. We decorate and warn on fake profiles, especially on Facebook. And we do get a lot of the fake accounts that will come back with messages to us. Ruth, she'll have a little bit of fun with them, which we've all heard those. And I've had a little bit of fun too, but I do know what I'm doing.
Yes.
So beginners don't need to do this. But if they come in with a message, all these hearts and roses and all that stuff, or they're using that, I was scrolling through Facebook and my son said, you look like his deceased mother. That's one of those, why are you talking to me like that?
Yeah.
And if somebody says stuff like that and does word vomit, I mean, I have a meme that actually says, who gave you permission to contact me?
Pretty much.
Right. And, it makes them mad because they don't think they have to ask for permission. Or I'll type in, I did not give you permission. So they'll start their spew of, what are you talking about? So if you point out already that they're a scammer, they're going to act all innocent. So that is another way to pause. If you see stuff like that, then you're going to definitely want to block them. I mean, it's good to block them if they're a stranger in the first place, but sometimes they will slide into your messenger or your DMs or whatever, and they will contact you. And some people just start answering messages. This is where we need them to pause, look at the message, look at the profile. Even on Instagram, the same thing. If there's no photo in the profile photo, that is a definite, I wouldn't talk to a blank one at all, especially if it's got a name like, Dustin Caps. and it's no photo. I'm not going to talk to that because, for one thing, I know it's not you. But, just keep pausing. And yeah, Kathy mentions don't forget the grammar.
I
The
can't
thing,
see. Sorry, just to let you know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I can't see any of the comments on there. My service is terrible here, so I can't see any of those. Let me know if I need to reply. Sorry, go ahead.
okay, so Kathy's mentioning the grammar. But honestly, with AI, Chat GBT, Grok, and whatever, or they can use Grammarly, they can bypass that bad grammar. They can have Chat GBT write their messages for them. And they might keep that first message, hey, I saw your profile and I thought you looked like a nice person, and copy and paste that to a bunch of different people. And it's going to have perfect grammar because they have used AI. And so, you really have to watch and go through their profile at that point.
Yeah, another couple things I didn't mention about the fake profiles. One of them that I've started noticing lately, especially from guys, like, I mean, I don't care if we do or not, but it's kind of one of those that, like, we're not gonna. If you see on the top, like you said, word vomit, it's kind of the same with like emoji vomit. If they've got a whole line of emojis and then God of Man and all these praying hands and a million of those in a full row, if there's more than, I'd say, 3 emojis on the bio or whatever, you know what I mean, the homepage, that's a fake, like, period. We're not doing that. I might do and I'm not speaking about just me, but a dude, like, we're just going to put, like, okay, I'm going to put the rocker there and then this and then USA, like, emoji. That's enough for us. We're not going to put 15 million on there and a full line of these and the blessings and all the God speak like you talked about. You're going to get all those emojis in there with that. It's like a combo package that they do, the names, the godliness, and all the emojis. It's just like bleh, thrown up on there.
Yeah, it is. And if you look at Ruth's Hustle Kingdom, the lower ones on the totem pole are the ones that are creating these fake profiles, but they're using other profiles as examples. So you might type in your name, Dustin Caps, on Facebook, and there's going to be 10 fake profiles there with all the same bio, the same photos, etc. So that is another thing to watch out for. So this is where we come in to check. And
Okay,
we are kind of, go ahead.
Before we move on, sorry, one last thing that goes directly in with that. We touched on it before. I wanted to kind of close that loop with the followers. You go to the page and they might have a few thousand or several thousand or however many thousand followers. You can buy followers like that. You straight up can. So, which is perfectly fine because if you know what you're looking at, you can still tell it's like those are all bought. Because even if there is only 1 or 2 posts, like somebody was mentioning before, or there's more, cool. They've got 6,400 followers. They're following, whether it's normally they're going to follow like twice as many. We won't get into that whole thing right now, but if they've got tons of the followers, look at the post, and if they're only being liked, you know what I mean, 1 to 20 times, under 100 times, because if you got 6,000 followers, because mine, when I was still actively posting, I worked up to about 8,000 followers. So on average, I could kind of count on maybe 100 likes a post every day, depending on the content. You know what I mean? That kind of makes sense.
Right.
But if I've got 8,000 followers, if there's a page with 8,000 followers and there's 12 likes and then there's 34 likes, 7 likes, that doesn't jive with the 8,000 followers. So that shows all of those. That's another thing just to look at. Don't buff.
Well, and true, and say they do have a name like yours, Dustin Caps. I am going to look at to see if family members are doing normal chit chat or comments. And I am going to look if family members or people with the same last name are liking your posts as well.
While we're on that, yes, if you are the family members or friends in there of the real person's profiles, like on mine, because we've seen this when we've talked about it, I alluded to it before. The scammers now will get an account like with it just like mine, maybe like Dustin Dwayne Caps instead of Wayne Caps.
Right.
Same profile picture. And say that, Sandy, that you commented on the boys' picture in DC, of us in DC, right? Christmas. Like, oh, it looks so cool. Look at the cat, blah, 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 blah. And the scammer's going to slide in right there and comment to you. Like, Sandy, thank you so much, dear. I need to speak to you privately. They're doing that type of stuff. We've already discussed it in shows. We had to address it at the bowling alley here. We did a PSA with the DGAB. So they're now sliding into those comments as well. We're talking about this, so it just applied to me. I didn't mean to go on a rant about it, but if you're commenting, make sure who's replying to your comment, that it is the actual person.
Right. And your account's verified. So if I comment on your boys and somebody slides in there and they are, Dustin Caps 123, and they're not verified, I mean, I know your account anyway, but always, for one thing, look if they're verified. If they are not, then you're going to have to start going down the other lists. And I don't know, the biggest one for me is the God fearing. That is just irks me to death. And and they also will mention my lovely sons or my lovely daughters. They use that, and I can't picture you saying my lovely sons, Dustin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah. So there are things to look for. So we go on to check. So part of the pause also includes check. So this is where you're verifying that person's profile. A reverse image search. If nothing pulls up, that doesn't make them real.
Where we are being nosy.
Right. We have to be nosy. And just to be safe. Yeah, Gina's mentioning too, do not accept strangers and put your account on private. But honestly, we have so many men and women that do their businesses that they have to have public posting and stuff like that. So we can't ask them to basically shut their business.
I can, yeah, I've had a lot of people over the years tell me that, like, oh, you need to make it private, or they either suggest or they tell me, it's coming from a place of caring that, that, well, you should make it private, you won't, blah, blah. It's like, look, I'm not going to be dictated by these little bastards what to do. If I wanted my account to be private, it would have been private already. This is me. I'm speaking for myself.
Right.
But if I'm not going to make it private just to avoid them, it's public for a reason. Like you said, I'm building my brand. I'm doing this. I'm putting stuff out there. And, if you are doing it from that perspective, then I knew because we've talked about it. We've been working together forever. So, the bigger you get, the more crap like this you're going to have to deal with. I understand that. But
yes,
there's no reason. Yeah, you should never have to put your stuff on private if you don't want to be because of these little bastards.
I totally agree. They should not dictate, their actions should not dictate what we do. My account's always been private, so that's just me. But I do see a lot that are public, and of course, celebrities going to have public. Influencers are going to be public. Somebody that has a gym, fit for you or whatever, they're going to be public and they're going to be showing the bodies and the builders, training at their gym. So, yeah, don't let the scammers dictate what you have to do. And honestly, for some, it can be a full-time job to go through their profiles and block all those scammers making comments to the men and women commenting on your posts. Or to get them out of your followers. And I know you can spend a lot of time doing that, but I know people who spend a lot more. And sadly, that part is something they dictate all because they want money. Your photos make money for them.
Can you believe that? This is what you paid for, people.
But I mean, the photos make money for them, so they're going to keep being nosy. Honestly, some of them, when they're starting out, they buy a packet with a script and a few photos in it, and they may not know who the real person is. So if somebody is talking to scammers, do not tell them who the real person is. because we don't want them going to that real person's profile and stealing more photos and videos. So, but still, we need to check to verify, do a reverse image search. If it doesn't show up on Google or Yandex, that doesn't make them real.
That's
And
true. Yeah, my sister has even done, just because she stayed nosy. She's always nosy and dramatic. Love you to death. But she did it one time. Tried to reverse image search like my picture from my account, even, and it didn't come up with something. So you can't always. That's a great tool, but don't count on it as far as 100%. You know what I mean?
right, and this is where scam haters can step in, because we do have a program that we pay for that is really, really good. And most of the time, we can find out if scammers are using the photos. But another way to verify that is go into Facebook or Instagram and type in Dustin Caps and see how many profiles are there. If there's 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, yeah, you can tell right there that
TikTok, there's hundreds.
oh yes, and
It's
TikTok doesn't.
crazy on there.
I know. I like the videos on TikTok, don't get me wrong. And there are a few people that I follow, but my account's private there as well. And I mean, I can go type in, say Tyler Thomas. He's one that's used a lot. I can type him in. He probably has a couple of hundred fakes. I mean, it's awful for some of them. And then, of course, you've got you've got people come into your real account. They're accusing you, they're harassing you, and so forth. So during this verification process, please do not contact the real person. Please do not. Just verify that the account is fake and, go about your business.
They're still gonna. I get it every day.
Right. And honestly, if somebody is going to talk to somebody that they've never met, dating sites, this really applies to, video call within the first few days. I don't care what you look like, because to me, if I don't have any makeup on, if I've got my rag clothes on, or whatever, or just come in from doing something, washing the car or whatever, I don't do that anymore. But what you see is what you get. So if you do a video call with me, what you see is what you get.
Just know what you're getting into.
Right. I mean, you don't have to, the women don't have to put a bunch of makeup on their faces just to do a video call, because you really just want to do a random video call. Say, hey, let's video call right now. And most of the time it gets rid of the scammers because they won't video call. And if they have excuses, camera broken, or my phone doesn't do that, or my computer camera's broken, or the mic's broken, or whatever, if they've got videos and stuff on their TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you say, well, you're posting videos, why can you not video chat? But always cross-reference, especially the dating sites. You might meet John Smith, 8 miles away from you. You take his photo, you type in John Smith in Facebook and Instagram and Threads or Twitter or whatever, and kind of cross-check between the different social media too. I mean, not everybody has all of the social medias, but cross-checking is a very good way to verify.
And I jotted this down earlier from something we were talking about, but it applies perfectly here and a few other things. I guess first, on that note, with the video chatting and stuff like that, do a test run at the very beginning with either asking them to video chat at a different time, maybe when because like you said earlier, they're starting their cycle and their manipulation from the very beginning. They're
Right.
starting that, right? So if you say, hey, I just always sleep with my phone in whatever it's called, quiet mode, or I turn my electronics off at night, even if you don't, just make this up, run this test. Like, hey, it's been great talking to you all night, Sandy. I've had a fantastic time texting with you for 4 hours, whatever. But I gotta go to bed. I gotta plug my phone in. I turn my electronics off at night. It's been fabulous. Can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow. Stop there. A lot of people have problems with this point. It's like they're going to get drugged back into it, but turn your shit off, right? Or do something. Do that. You're running a test right now on them. If they're going to freak out, and they're not going to allow that, right? They're going to
Right.
talk you out of that because now you're taking some control back, or you're at least taking their control away of being able to ping you at midnight, ping you whenever they want. Turn your device off and then wait till tomorrow and see how they react to that. I dare you to do
Right.
that.
And actually, I do put my devices in sleep mode at night. Um,
That's
I,
because you have a functioning adult brain, Sandy.
well, thank you.
So, I mean,
But I mean, it is best to put your device down. So if they're impatient and you say, "Hey, I got to plug my phone in," and get some sleep, and I put it on silent for the night, that is going to pause them because you're in control there.
that's going to be a
And
problem for them.
it is because they were starting to condition you, but if you stop it right there, then they can't condition you all night long. You can get some sleep, whatever the case may be. Holidays are coming up. Turn your phones and devices on silent, spend time with your family. The scammers are not going to like that. They're going to expect you to be, texting them throughout Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah.
or Christmas
Yeah.
dinner, or whatever. And I mean, some of them even want you to take the phone in the bathroom with you so they have constant contact. Put your device down, pause. And that is a good way to verify too, is because they are going to get mad if you stay in control.
Yes. Because you're changing their script and now they can't control you. Yeah. And with that, too, imagine if we were just dating and we're together on Thanksgiving and that person's doing the same stuff to you, just in person. If that was your new boyfriend, girlfriend that you're taking to the fams for Thanksgiving or whatever. And now they're needing that, even if it's just needing affirmation from you, Sandy, do you so blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like all the time, all the time, all the time. It's like, dude or dudette, like chill out. What are you doing? What? That's obvious control. Like I don't understand that to where it's going to be like just stop.
Right. And honestly, if you're with a real person, they're not going to be, let's say Thanksgiving dinner, and you take your date to Thanksgiving dinner. They're not going to be leaning over in your ear, "Hey, babe, love you, babe," and stuff like that all the time.
And yeah, if they
So
are, what are you going to tell them? Shut the hell up
get lost.
already. Yeah, stop for a minute. I thank you. I understand that. I love constant praise, but shut the hell up for a few minutes.
Right. So that, yeah, you do make a good point. Turn your night mode on, your phone devices on silent, and it gives you a pause, and it also helps you verify, that they are or are not scammers. Because if they're a real person, they're going to be patient about that and say, "Hey, yeah, I've got to go to sleep too."
That's exactly what I was about to say. Again, I'm going to speak from my point of view, but I think probably a lot of men, because that's happened before, right? If I'm talking to somebody, whatever, and it has been great. It's a lot of fun chatting with you all night. It's like, hey, it's 11. I got to get up, coming early in the morning, blah, blah, blah. I respect that because you are setting your own boundaries, and I'm kind of looking for that. And that tells me, okay, it shouldn't be a problem when I set mine, right? That's a man is going to respect that more than get pissed off about it. Because it's
Right.
saying like, cool, hey, that's awesome. You're not afraid to say what you need to do. Because no man wants something, no real man wants something, a woman that's just going to do every single thing he says. And if you always, I'll just stay up on whatever you want, blah, blah. Like, no. Like, what are you? Okay, cool. Good. That's awesome that you sleep with your devices off because that's smart. I'd read about it. I wish I could do that, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, cool. Now I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow when your device is back on. I'm not going to freak out about it.
Right. And we do know that some cultures believe that the woman has to do everything the man says. And so if you've got a scammer that is from that culture, they are going to get mad if you put everything on silent and stop, because they're going to expect you to do what they say. And actually, as you get deeper into a scam, they do expect it. So we want to just totally avoid that at all.
Because that stuff that they do up front that we're talking about, those are indicators of their continued behavior. It's not going to change. It's just going to develop even more controlling.
Right. It continues, escalates. So then we're going to kind of blend into protect. This is where you are not going to overshare your life with somebody online. You're not going to send photos of your parents, your grandkids, your kids. You're not going to send your ID cards. You're not going to give them bank accounts, passwords, anything. You're not going to overshare.
Provocative pictures of yourself.
Oh, yes.
I hate that we even have to say that, but going to say it anyway.
Yeah, because actually I've had two ladies even older than me, which my birthday was the other day, and I celebrated the 34th anniversary of 24th anniversary of my 39th birthday.
Well, happy birthday and anniversary.
So, these women were older than me and they were being blackmailed.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, to me, I wouldn't send any of that type of picture to anyone. But if you're talking to someone, you think that they love you, and it kind of gets exciting, the dopamine, endorphins, or whatever.
Yep.
But still, don't send photos that you wouldn't show your own mother.
Or your kids or grandkids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just the whole thing, do not overshare. That is why my account is on private and only friends can see my posts, is because I don't want to overshare publicly because I try to protect my kids and my friends and family. So, that's just me. But again, I'm not a business. But even on a dating site, don't send them 10 pictures in one night.
Yeah.
I mean, video chat.
Plus, I mean, this is kind of more on the reality side of it, but just if it were a real life situation, right? You always don't. I don't know if your mom said anything like this to you as a kid. I grew up a guy the whole time, but like, don't give it all away on the first date. Anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I always heard, why buy the cow when the milk's free?
You're right. Yeah. So keep them in anticipation anyway. And if they are truly interested, then they're not going to be a dick about it, basically, with all of these things that we're saying. Check it out and see how they're going to react. If they react in a non-positive way, I don't even know if that's a word, but that's your answer, plain and simple, period.
Right. And then it kind of goes in with the last few topics we've talked about. Set boundaries. Yeah, turn your phone off at night. Set boundaries. Maybe times I can only chat between 5 and 6, or 9 and 10, or for a few minutes in the morning and a few minutes at night. Not all day long, not all night long. Set boundaries. And this falling in love real quick, that is another thing you need to set boundaries on. If you are talking to someone in real life, and like back in the olden days, sorry, you didn't even kiss on the first date. You might hold hands at the movies, and you might hold hands walking together, but set boundaries. We had boundaries way back when. You don't kiss on the first date.
I remember that still too.
Yeah, and so, and even I always heard too, do not give up the other stuff. Until you've known this person for 6 months or longer. I mean, of course, my family was until you get married. But that again is a boundary. So you have boundaries in your personal life, and you need to have boundaries online.
Yeah. You'd think so. And again, if they challenge the boundaries, that's your sign right there. That's your answer. Or because if, like you said too, like, hey, I can only talk between 5 and 6 p.m., blah, 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 whatever. If it's real, in reality, I'm gonna think, cool. Now I'm looking forward to what am I doing? I'm watching the clock. It's 4:30. In half an hour, I get to send her another text, or we get to chat for a second. I'm looking forward to that small time block that you've given me, that we can chat, and we've got that window right now. I'm excited for that, and so forth. And the same extent you mentioned before, we talked about if they've got reasons and deflections for why they can't video chat. Oh, my camera's broken, or oh this, oh that, and give them all the excuses. The reality side of that, if it were in real life, that the kids even have a shorthand for IRL, which is ridiculous, but in real life,
Uh-huh.
the guy is going to. I think I can speak generally for any dude here on this one, not just myself. But say it is on a deployment, for instance, it was Iraq, Afghanistan, or somewhere like that. If we meet and we're chatting and it's real and we're excited about it and we want a video chat, even if my camera is broken, guess what? By God, I'm finding somebody's phone or something with a camera that I can call you from.
Right.
How many people, the military, half the dudes go in for the brotherhood of it anyways. You are never alone. You are never not with a million people up your ass everywhere you go in the military. That's just how it is. So,
Right.
because I could video chat with my kids all the time. You can video chat from everywhere on this planet. So for
This
you
is
to
true.
believe a whole bunch of excuses and hogwash about why that guy or your love interest over there, your man, your brave hero, um, he's gonna find a way to video chat with you if he's real. I guarantee you that it's gonna happen, whether it's from his device. I had two phones in Afghanistan. Most deployments, you have to get another phone anyway, like a local one, because I can't just call from like this one. I can't. My iPhone's no good over there, other than like games and stuff like that. But computers, you can do it from there.
Right.
USOs, they even from back in the day, we've talked about this before because it went from when you had your calling card with your minutes and your little list of people's phone numbers to today. There's freaking rooms that they have set up that are decorated for whatever time of year. Like if it's Christmas, your dad can go on there and video chat with his kids and read them a Christmas story. You know what I mean? You can get your ass somewhere to get in front of a camera to talk to the woman that you're trying to date. I guarantee it.
I agree. And so, yeah, like you said, if they deflect or have any excuse whatsoever not to video chat, it's going to be fake. Just block them automatically. I mean,
It's
and don't hold out hope that it's real. Do not. That's where you get in trouble. So that is a boundary. Do not hold out hope it's real. Just put stop, full stop.
yeah. But that's the hardest part that people have is getting used to that or allowing for the silence because it's like in real life people are the awkward silence. I love awkward silences now, but I'm just a weirdo. But it's the same thing, like set your boundaries. And if you say that you're turning it off or whatever, just don't get pulled back into it. Set your boundaries, stay firm. It's very difficult at first. I know this. I kind of still remember, but it gets easier. The blocking gets easier and moving on. You can choose to let go of your thoughts after that about this. You don't have to stay and dwell on that. Block and then pick something else. We talked about it a million times before, self-aware to self-regulate. If you're aware that you can't get this crap out of your mind, I don't care if it's a whatever crossword book that's on your nightstand. I play my little, it's the same as a Candy Crush crap. Read, audiobook. You know what I mean?
Right,
Find
right.
whatever it is for you to get your brain out of that. It's a lot of the MRT skills we talked about before, but there's the brain games and this and that for catastrophic thinking and so forth. But it's a conscious choice that you can make to hit block and to stop communication. That is on you. It's difficult, but I promise you it gets easier.
Agreed. And everything that you do, everything in life is a choice. And so people make good choices, people make bad choices. But let's make the choice to keep these scammers away from us.
And learn from your freaking mistakes, please.
Yes, don't do it again.
Because that's what we've done this. I know you all have done it for a lot longer than me. But I mean, I've been with you guys for over a decade now. It's been like 11 years, I think. And forever, I never got angry about any of this stuff, right? But at some point, it's like if you continue to just keep going back and back and back in the same trap, then you just love being a victim. You know what I mean? If you're about the victim mindset, that's got to be overcome first. So that's kind of a different thing. I'm not trying to rabbit hole or whatever, but learn from your freaking mistakes. If you step in a pile of crap, why are you going to step in it again? And especially like, I'm serious. I still
agree.
remember this from the 90s. I had a teacher that would write a quote of the day on the board. If you wrote them all down, you got like an extra credit point. I never wrote them down, but I remember this one. A smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from others. Put woman in there if you want. But smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man, he can learn from others. So if you see somebody step in a pile of crap and I'm walking on the same trail, why am I going to step in that same pile of crap that I just watched Sandy step in front of me? I'm going to step over it. It's the same crap here. If you hear what we're talking about, the fake profiles, here's a fake profile that just, oh, but maybe this one's real. They just always so handsome, blah, blah, blah. It's like you're dumb. You're not smart or wise. You saw the crap, you stepped in it, and you wonder why you stink.
Right. You've made a really bad choice. And there are people that are victimized over and over and over again. That is their mindset, to be a victim. They do need help.
Yes. That's
And
a totally different subject. Yeah, I wasn't trying to.
yeah. And I agree with that. There's things you can do. Now, Kathy mentioned too, another thing, if you even talk to them on the phone before you get a chance to video chat, they're going to explain away their accent. Mom's from Sweden, dad's from Japan, and I've lived in the US for this long. Or I've been deployed to Nigeria for 4 years, so now I talk like a Nigerian. They're always going to have some excuse for the accent. So watch for that too, because that is a deflection when you ask them a direct question. You're from the US, you are based on a US base, deployed overseas on a US base. Why don't you have an accent or speak like somebody from the US? Which I know different states and areas have different accents. The South, the Southern accent. Brooklyn has another accent. So if they're not talking like something that would be in the U.S. or from the U.S., and that is where their bio said they were from or where they're saying they're originally from, that is another one. Set your boundary, put a stop to it, and move on.
Yes. One thing, you said something there that I'm glad you did because it triggered something that I meant to say earlier. I wanted to add into the check portion with the pause, check, protect, check. We've talked about before with being nosy, this and that. Check what unit they're in. I mean,
This is true.
I mean, we've talked about OPSEC, operational security, this and that, but there's certain things that are open source, and it's dangerous how much you can find online with open source, because there's a thing, I think we used to call it the patch chart, that shows you where the conventional units, again, conventional, the regular ones, are set to deploy, because those are big processes. So it shows you who's set to go here and this and that. That's open source stuff. Check what unit they're in, because if, again, let's say you and I are chatting this and that and while I was still active, and yeah, I'm a sergeant, and here I'm at Fort Riley, blah, blah. Oh, cool, what do you do? Ask them what unit they're in. What unit are you in? Because you can check that stuff too. You can Google their unit and their rank and where they're at type of stuff, where they say. You can Google a lot of stuff that's right there. The unit, they're going to tell you, like I'm in 163rd, we actually just stood back up a couple months ago. It was 270th. Like that would have been my answer if you asked me then, because that's what happened. We unflagged. It was pretty cool. It was a pain in the ass. We had to do the ceremony. But my point is, like, guys are going to want to tell you about that, right? Like, oh, yeah, we're set to go. We're deploying somewhere next year. We don't know yet or what month, because that's keeping it vague. But still, their unit should have, most of them have, guess what? Facebook pages for that unit. Because
that's true. I found some.
Yeah, most of them do, because they're going to have programs for their family and then this and that. And they want The military units typically, if it's a good command, but they typically want families involved. They take care of the families, that type of stuff. So you're going to have the Facebook page about this or that, or the wife's bitching, or the this or that. Who's got this? There's so much that they can tell you about their unit that they will not necessarily want to, but that they will. Or like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean? Anywhere you're at. Like, hey, if you ask me while I was at Benning, oh, right now it's kind of cool. I'm in a TRADOC unit. That just means training. You know, we're 299 or one, I forget exactly what company it was. It's kind of cool. I work right over from the airborne towers. They're right there. I see that out my. They're going to tell you basic shit about their unit, is my point. Ask
Right.
them. And if they deflect that too, even basic infantry dudes, basic infantry units, they're going to tell you where they're at, even if they are not crazy about their unit. They're going to tell you. They're going to either love their commander or bitch about them. You know, they're going to this or that. There's things that they can tell you about their unit that they will automatically. It just, even if it's minute stuff, they're going to tell you. And if there's, because they don't care, right? Like, I don't care that, yeah, I'm in SFAB. We're going back. I had to, yeah, this, that. Google where they're at. And if they have any issues telling you about their unit, what do you think that is? What do we call that? That's that red flag we're running up.
Yep.
It's that simple. Just check where they're at. Oh, cool. I saw you were wearing an E5 rank in your last picture. Yeah, I had that rank forever. I should be getting I went to the board, you know, blah, blah. They're going to tell you, like, I'm getting my rocker, this or that, or I'm specialist, I get promoted. They're going to tell you about their rank and their unit, and especially if there's any cool award stuff. And guess what? You can check. You can check what every single one of those are.
Yeah, you can. And like I say, without the stuff that we do, I do that
Yeah.
just to help other people. Um, that another thing, the APO and FPO, you
Yep.
can ask those, and you can Google those as well.
Yep. I've had so many FPO, APO addresses. I forgot about that until you just said it. That's funny.
Yeah. So there are ways, to check, verify, during your pause, and you want to continue with, think about it, pause, check, protect yourself. So I think we're about out of time. And I want to thank you, Dustin. We had a really good conversation and went over what what they've been wanting, but we had a lot to talk about and put a lot of gibber in there. So
I think it was all good though. I like the pause, check, protect. I just I hadn't heard of it until today, but I like that. Pause, take as long as you want.
right.
And if they're trying to somehow prod you into move taking your finger off the pause button or whatever, guess what? That's another indicator. You pause for as long as you want. You check for as long as you want.
Right.
To stay protected. Because like you said, I like how you said it, is like, why are you talking to me? First off, who gave you permission to talk to me? Who gave you permission to? Nobody did? Okay, well, why? What do you want? Right? So check until you are more than certified. Well, not certified. You know what I mean. My words are escaping me, but
Verified.
yeah, thank you. And you can not that you need to stay, I guess, stay curious, but just ask questions and don't accept deflections.
Right. And that's part of the boundaries.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, we've had a good conversation. And so I will say thanks, and we'll have to do it again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And yeah, I like it. Sounds good. Thank you, everybody. And I like it.
Bye.
See you next time.